today I'm filming my first update for my Project 10 Pan Winter Edition for 2020. I'm filming this video on January 5th, so I am filming it a little bit late, and I'm happy about that because I was able to finish off 2 more products today, which makes me feel a little bit more successful because I really am still working on a ton of things. I mean, that's good, that's normal, I'm making progress. So I'm going to start by talking about the things that I finished up. And as you guys know, I was working on trying to use up all of the makeup foil samples in my collection, and I did use up 2 of the Tarte Double Duty Beauty Base Tape Hydrating Primer. I love this. I'm incredibly surprised because I have very oily skin, and this is not a primer that's made for me, but this is extremely nourishing and hydrating. It made my skin feel very plump. It's very similar to the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer that I also really enjoy. And those 2 are definitely the best hydrating primers I've ever used, and they make me want to buy them, and it's not made for my skin type. But I really like this, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody that has a dry or normal skin type or is looking for something that's more hydrating. Really good, like way better than some of the other favorites that I've heard people talk about. Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothie Primer. Way better for hydrating than those, so definitely recommend that. I was really impressed by it. Then this took me a really long time to use up. This is just a little sample of the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Pot Concealer. It's whatever the IT Cosmetics pot concealer is in the black packaging. And it was the fair color, and I use this every day on top of my primer under my foundation on my blemishes, and I did use it under my eyes a few times as well. It does give a really nice coverage, and it was not drying on my skin. It was so easy for me to blend it out over top of my primer. I do think it gave good coverage, but it wasn't the fullest of full coverage. I could build it up, but I think that like MAC Studio Finish Concealer has more coverage, but that one is a little thicker, a little stickier, and doesn't blend out as nicely as this one does. If you're looking for like a medium full coverage spot concealer, it was fine under the eyes, but I just don't prefer a pot concealer for under my eyes. I would recommend this product. I just like something that's more liquid and something that is a little more full coverage, but it was a really good product that I was happy to use. And next, I used up this little deluxe sample of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. That did not take me long at all. It's something that I will use, but it's not something that I would purchase because I don't notice it doing anything for me, but I've been using this as my primer step, or my first primer step, and then over top of it I was using the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. I just finished this up today. This is a hydrating primer. I don't like the scent. It smells a little bit like cucumber, which I hate, and like cucumber mixed with aloe. I don't think that this did much for my skin at all. It was a hydrating primer, but that's it. I much prefer the Tarte over this one, so it is not something I would repurchase. If I get any more minis, I will pass it on. The last thing that I used up today was the Tarte Face Tape Foundation in the shade 12S Fair Sand. I do have this in the full size. I'm wearing it today. This does give really great full coverage. It can be built up. It probably starts off as like a medium, but it can be built up to a full coverage, and it is not super mattifying, so I think this would work well for several skin types. I do really enjoy this product. I already have the full size. It hasn't quite replaced my Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is my Holy Grail foundation, but I do really enjoy this one, and I would recommend it for quite a variety of skin types. So those are all of the things that I finished up completely. Now onto the things I'm still working on. So I'm going to try to focus on a majority of my makeup foil samples. I'm really just leaving a few for next month, so instead of showing them to you all together, I'm just gonna like mix them throughout all of the other products that I'm using. So I am, as my first step, using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water, and I did use up this little deluxe size first, and then this is the travel size. So we started out right here. Now I am down here, so I do think it's possible for me to finish this off by the finale. Then for my regular primer, I'm going to use these two primer foil samples of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer and the Dermablend Insta Grip Jelly Primer. So one I know I love and one that will be new to try out. And then after that, I'm going to move on to the VDL Lumi Layer Primer. I know that Hannah Louise Poston really loves this, and I believe it's more of a glowy primer. So if I don't finish this by the finale, that will be okay because I finished my main primer, but I do think it's possible for me to finish this in 2 months. Then for foundation, I'm still trucking through the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation in 12B Fair Beige. So I really was mixing like 2 pumps of this with like 1 dropper of this. I am not able to hardly see through this bottle at all, so I don't know where I am. And this is going to be my main focus. It's a little too pink for me though, so I'm going to be using this but mixing it with my foundation samples. So I'm going to use the 3 smaller samples first, which would be the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Foundation in 2-in-1 Cashew, which is going to be a little dark for me. Then I have the Jouer Essential High Coverage Foundation in Warm Ivory, and lastly a sample of the Beauty Blender Foundation in 1.10. So I want to use all of those, and then depending on where I'm at in the month, I will move on to the last foundation foil sample I have, which is the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation in 1.10. So I had gotten this sample first. Before I got this one, this is a foil packet that's actually pretty full, so I don't know how long this is going to take me. So I'm going to use the other ones first, as I said, but I might end up using this towards the end of the month, and we'll use this mixture until they're used up. So that's going to be my foundation cocktail for the month. And then for my powder, I'm using the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil Little Mini, and I am about halfway done with this. I tried it under my eyes. It extremely darkened my under eyes. I tried it set my face, and I just don't love the consistency of this powder for setting my entire face. So the way I'm currently using this is mixing it with my other loose powder. So I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Loose Setting Powder, which is a little too yellow for me right now. So this is very pink toned, so when I mix them, it gives a more neutral color. And I have been mixing it with the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder in Fair to make it a little lighter, and I do think that's working nicely, but I think it's making me maybe a little too fair. I think that's why I'm looking a little too fair today. So I'm going to stop using the Maybelline and then just mix the yellow Too Faced powder and this pink Bare Minerals powder, but I do think I'll probably be finished with this next month, and it's working well as a mixer, but otherwise I would not be using. You hear the screaming children in the hall. And then I am going to use this sample of the Buxom Wanderlust Primer Infused Blushes in Dolly and Mykonos. I know people really love these, and I'm not really going to be able to tell the formula, but I want to see how the colors look on me because these are the 2 shades I'm interested in from the line. Then, as you can see, I did not depot this. This is my Benefit Hoola bronzer, and I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. I'm still considering it, but I'm not really having trouble applying it right from the container right now. So this is where I'm at. I believe I've expanded the pan a little bit since last month. I sure hope so, but this is the bronzer I've been using every single day. I love the color, but I don't need a ton of it. But my brush is not having any trouble getting into it right now, so I'm going to continue using it this way. And I'm not feeling very hopeful that I'm going to finish it up, but we'll see. We'll see, but I'm loving it nonetheless. Then my last face product is the travel size of the Too Faced Hangover RX 3-in-1 Replenishing Primer and Setting Spray. So I'm not able to see through this packaging at all. I held it up to a light and everything, but it doesn't feel like there's much left. So I do believe this will be finished off by next month, and if I finish it before my next update, I'm just going to start working on some other mini setting sprays in my collection, and I'll show them to you in my next update. I have several little ones that I would like to use up. So that is all for face. You guys know I always have a lot of face products in my project pans. So then we've got my brow product, and I'm very excited because on Amazon I placed an order for a whole bunch of like project pan tool, and one of them was a silver Sharpie. The one I was using was like an off brand, and it was not very silver. It wiped off really easily, so I remarked the markings with this new silver Sharpie brand Sharpie, and it is so good. So this is my Anastasia Brow Definer Pencil and Taupe. I was here at the intro, and I'm right here now. So again, I do think it is possible for me to have that finished off by the finale. I've just been using this every single day to fill in my brows, and I've just been outlining them with a micro brow pencil. And this is all I have left. I am really enjoying this, and I'd be totally fine if it lasted me the whole project because it's a good formula and a good color for me. So that is all that I have left, and I do definitely think it will take me 2 months to finish it. And the next thing I have is my Mally Shadow Stick Extra in Autumn Shimmer. So I was here at the intro and now I'm down here. So I have used a good amount of this. It's something I'm likely going to finish by the finale. So that is all the product that I have left in here, but it actually is a little bit longer than it appears to be. So I'm not really having trouble right now applying this from the pencil. So I'm going to continue doing so for a little while, and then I'll just take out whatever product is left and mush it into a container. I might do that sooner than later because I think it might help rehydrate the product because it is getting a little dry. And I've been using this mostly every day. I used a different eye base today. I used something that was a little bit more purpley, but I have been using this majority of the time, and I can't wait to finish that up. Then I did add in an eyeshadow in my intro as well that I was hoping to maybe finish up. I had a very loose goal on it, and that would be the Anastasia eyeshadow in Buon Fresco from the Modern Renaissance palette. And just yesterday, so I freaking waited a month, I used it for the first time today. But just yesterday I repressed it into just a regular single shadow pan, so it is very thin, and now my goal is to just hit pan on this, which I definitely think is possible. But I've really been like sticking just to the palettes I've been using, but I put it in this compact for a reason, and I'm going to put it in my monthly makeup basket to try to make me use this as a transition color with other things, and I used it today. I think that will work well. So, and lastly we have my lip products, and my progress on these is not as great as I was hoping for, and I've done a decent job of applying my lip products mostly every day, although when we were traveling for the holidays I didn't wear any makeup at all. Actually, I'm always really lazy at makeup when I travel, so there were several days I didn't wear it at all, but I definitely did not reapply it more than like once or twice, which is a huge shame. I'm just terrible at reapplying. Seriously, when I go to work we have so much stuff going on that I barely even go to the bathroom. So I need to be better about it if I'm wanting to finish these. But the first thing is the Tarte Color Splash lipstick in Salt Life, which is like a nudie mauve lipstick, and that looks like, oh, you just have a tiny bit left. No, that's gonna last me till the finale, and there are my markings. So still quite a bit left, so I really do need to pick up the pace. Then I've got my Buxom Full On Lip Cream in Dolly, and you can see my intro, my first update. At that pace, I'm never finishing this. So I have absolutely got to reapply this so much more. I don't want to waste it, but I do want to reapply it a lot more. So I need to reach for these things instead of lip balm. I need to be better about it, but whew, not looking good right now. So I don't know, like I'm definitely still motivated, but I'm feeling a little discouraged. I don't know if I'm going to hit my goal and everything, which you guys know kills me. Like, I try to be like 100% successful in each of my project pans, and everybody does, of course, but it just kills me to not be successful. So I really, really hope that I'll be able to finish all these products. The one thing I don't think I'm going to finish, and I'm okay with, is Benefit Hoola. That's sad to me, but I'm not surprised, especially because I'm choosing to not repress it, which might have made it more powdery, might have made it easier to use. Maybe I'll change my mind, but that's not where I'm at right now, so we'll see. But anyway, that is 1 month's worth of progress on these items. I would love to know your thoughts on these items in the comments down below, and I would love to know if you guys are doing a winter project pan or any kind of project pans on your channel. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.